I work at a bike shop and I've realized that a lot of people are confused and they get somewhat embarrassed because they don't know basic bike anatomy. So I have my road bike here and I'm going to talk a little bit about the wheels on the bike. So this is a wheel here, this whole unit. And a lot of people don't realize how many parts it has and what the names of these parts are. So it can create confusion and embarrassment in the shop when somebody's saying that they need a new wheel, and what they actually need is a new tire, the rubber part on the outside of the wheel. So looking at this wheel on the bike, this part in the middle here, this is a quick release skewer. And I'll remove it here in just a second. The center part here is the hub. These are the spokes. And these little things that on my bike are blue here are the spoke nipples. They hold them in place. This here is the rim, the metal part that holds onto the tire, and the rubber part, of course, is the tire. So to remove a quick release, you open it up, then you untwist it. You'll probably have to hold onto this part here on the other side, open it up, and then you can remove it from your bike. You also have to make sure that you open up your brakes, and that is easiest done if you have a set of brakes like mine. There's a little lever here, right there. So right now, the switch is closed. There, it's open. You can see how the brakes here move just a little bit, open themselves. So I've opened the quick release here. You can see there's more space there now. And I can remove the wheel from the fork. And I'll just lay it here. You don't have to take the skewer out, but it does unscrew all the way. And here I've taken apart my rear wheel so you can see the different parts a little bit better. Again, this is the rim here. Spoke nipples, spokes. Hub is in the middle that lets it spin. The skewer is the metal part that goes through. And this here is called the cassette. Now, if your bike is not a road bike, or it's a single speed, or it's a kid's BMX bike, you're obviously not going to have something that looks like this, but you will have something that has gears connected to your rear wheel. Here's the inside of it. Each of these little holes is where a spoke connects. And let's find it. This hole right here, you can see through it. That's where the valve stem goes, the valve to input air into your tube. And the reason that if you take your tube and tire off, this isn't what you see, is because there is a rim strip that sits here to keep the tubes from getting sucked into these holes, or pushed in rather, by force of air and the weight of you riding. And puncturing. I mean, they're not sharp, but a little tiny thin rubber tube would certainly get a hole poked in it. So this is the rim strip. There are rubber ones. This is a plastic one. There's also cloth ones. This is very important to have inside your tire. Every now and then we'll come across bikes in the shop and they keep getting a flat and they don't know why. A lot of times it's because there is no rim strip, or there are cracks in the rim strip that have become sharp and are puncturing their tube. This is the tube right here, this floppy rubber thing. There's no air in it. So, it doesn't look like it would do anything, but this is what holds the air in your tire. There's the valve. This is a Presta valve. If you have like a kid's bike, a BMX bike, a cruiser, something like that, you probably have a Schrader valve. It's what most people are more familiar with. This is a Presta valve. They keep the air in just a little bit better, in my opinion. And then this is the tire. Again, not the wheel, the tire. And you can see the tire it's shaped like a cup, like this, like a C, if you were to cut just a slice out of it. And the tube fits inside the tire to protect. The tire protects the tube. The tire is what helps you get traction on the road. And it has a little edge right here on it that kind of fits inside this little edge right here in the tube. So this is what's going on inside of your bike, what makes it roll, makes it go, tire, tube, rim strip, rim, and this whole, you would call this a wheel because it's not just a rim, it's attached to hubs and spokes and everything else. So this whole thing is the wheel. And if you go into a bike shop and you say, I need a new wheel, we're going to assume that somehow you've bent your rim, broken your spokes, something like that. There's something wrong with your wheel. But if you just have a flat tire, what you need is a new tube. If your bike's been sitting forever and your tire looks terrible and there's like cracks in it, or you got a giant nail or a piece of glass or something cut into your tire, you may need a new tire as well. And when we take the whole thing apart to check your flat, change your tube, get a new tube, not a new wheel, but a new tube to fix your flat tire, we'll also check your rim strip and make sure there's no defects with that. Keep riding.